Hey there, my name is Grand Slam Garen, and today we are going to be looking at one of the 12 principles of animation. With this principle, you will be able to make your characters look less stiff, your motion look more lifelike. This principle is called the arc principle. So essentially, the arc principle describes how objects move in the real world. Typically, things don't move from point to point directly, but they move in an arc. You can see this in the way almost anything moves in real life, but also in just the actual structure of objects in the real world as well. So we can look at two different examples today to demonstrate the arc principle both in motion and in static objects. So in this first example here, you can see that I've drawn a stick man, and if I play this animation, we're going to watch him jump up and down. So he jumped, but it was kind of stiff, and there wasn't a great sense of motion, but if we add something to this animation that gives it a sense of an arc, you will notice a much more lifelike animation. So instead of redrawing this character to jump in an arc across the screen, we are just going to add a background that moves across the screen in a way to imply an arc type movement to his jump. So let's look at this again with this background element. Even though it is a very crude drawing, the character is moving in an arc-like way that things do in the real world, so our brain is led to believe that it is a real object moving. For a second example, let's take a look at how the arc principle can be applied to static characters and objects. Here we have a very basic stick character. He is kind of stiff as a board, really. He stands up straight, and his arms are flat at his side, very symmetrically. He's not super interesting. He doesn't look lifelike. He looks like a drawing. To give him a bit more life, we can actually apply the arc principle to the drawing itself. So let's draw him again, and let's see how we can add arcs to the shapes of his limbs, to his body, and see how that actually makes him have more character. Right, so now we can see this character has some natural weight to him. And in real life, your legs have a bit of a bend to them. Your body is not going to stand up perfectly straight all the time. All of your limbs are supporting one another, and your body's working as a whole unit. It's not just two sticks that are stuck together to make two arms. Your arms are hanging off your body, so they have a bit of a curve and a swoop to them. And now we can see the way that this character moves, the way that he carries himself, and it adds a lot of realism to the way that our brains perceive this character. So hopefully now you understand the importance of the arc principle to make your animations really come alive. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in our next video. Thanks.